Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hookster Talks on this Thursday evening with me and Mr. TB the Bear. TB the Bear, everyone's favourite bear. They all love you, don't they, TB? Now it's the Italian Grand Prix, TB. Yes, always excited. He's well excited, yes. Lulu, how's Lulu going to do? He's going to crash again. Let's hope not, eh? Let's hope not. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Paddock Lesbian says, "Can I have to wait for me to be full in off to Tesco's?" Tesco's? I think someone needs to get their priorities right. Tesco's? It's Thursday evening. It's 17 minutes past 9. You know what you should be doing? Not going to Tesco's. Why are you there? Can you get us a pint of milk? Because I'm nearly out. Yeah, I need milk. Milk. Yeah. Milky. Thank you. Unbelievable scenes. Off to Tesco's while Hooksters talk. Oh my God. You don't get that on the hour of a show, I'll tell you. You won't get that on the hour of a show. Unbelievable scenes. Hello, Mr. Daniel West. Welcome to the stream. Hello. And hello to Shane as well. Hi Dave, do you think Formula 1 will ever return to France? They haven't raced there since 2022. Well, I'm hoping Formula 1 doesn't return to France, at least not at that Paul Richard circuit anyway, because that was horrible. Horrible, yes. Gave me a migraine just for all the different colours of the track offline. Horrible thing that was, so I hope not. But returning to France, I'd like to see Magny Cours come back. I don't even know if that track's even still in existence, is it? Is it still running? Let me have a little search on Google. Here we go. Let's have a look. Yes, the Magny Cours Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours currently holds FIA Grade 1 certification, making it eligible to host Formula 1 races. Though it hasn't been on the Formula 1 calendar since 2008, it remains a permanent road course that hosts other international racing series such as the World Superbikes. Now, of course, if I watched the World Superbikes, I would know that, but I don't. That's why I didn't know whether it was still even in existence. But yes, there it is. I'd love Magny Cours to come back on the calendar, definitely. Not Paul Richard, that was a load of shit. Horrible stuff. But yeah, I used to like the Magny Cours. I remember that on F1 97. It was always a great track on F1 97, if anyone remembers that. But yeah, bring back Magny Cours. Used to love that track. Probably Shane. There you go. Yeah, I think so. TB is ready for Lulu to finish 15th. Oh, did you hear that? TB? Did you hear that, TB? Paddock Lesbian says Lulu's gonna finish in 15th place. Oh, okay. Well, I can't actually repeat that on the stream, but yeah, it was a very nice comment indeed. Poor TB. Imagine being a Lewis fan right now. It must be hell, mustn't it, TB? Must be absolute. Yes, he's saying yes. It is hell. It is hell being a Lewis Hamilton fan. I don't know. Daniel West says, no Ferrari on the podium is my prediction. Well, there you go. You heard it here first. No Ferrari on the podium. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Mr. Will F1. Welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm going to do it like that. What's that other channel called? I keep forgetting it. Fail Race. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. He's been around for ages, hasn't he, old Fail Race? I remember him when I first started watching YouTube eons ago, like 12, 15 years ago. I remember Fail Race. Great channel. Paul Richard, that's the one. Yes, Paul Richard. Yes, it is. Magny Cours still exists. Yes, it does. I've just looked it up. Thank you very much for that, Will. Yes. Hello, Mr. Helion Trophy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Get Dijon Perens back. Yeah, that was a good one. We've got to have that one back as well. Shane says, yeah, Formula 1 hasn't raced in Magny-Cours since 2008. Well, hello, Matthew D'Souza. He says, hello, Hookster. Welcome to the stream. There's countries that Formula 1 don't race in anymore, like Malaysia, India, and South Korea. Yes, there is. South Korea, the yin-yang wigwam, couldn't give a damn. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Malaysia should have a race again. Yes, they should. Now, Mr. Helium Trophy. I think I did this to myself. But when I was talking to you last week about the pain, the pain in your knee, literally when I did that, it was Friday, wasn't it? I think it was when I was doing my breaking point. Yes, when I was doing that stream. I went through Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, I blew out my right arm. Yes, I was literally just on the mouse. I was on the mouse. I think I was editing a video or whatever. And oh, what am I doing? Put that back there, Dave. And I was just editing a video, and I got this tremendous pain up my right arm. That was unbelievable, unbelievable. Yes, really, really. You know, like when it's so bad that you start to feel woozy and you start sweating, and oh my god, yeah. So my right arm's been blown for the past 4 days now. Yeah, Monday was very bad. Trying to do the league race on Monday night was pretty painful, but I have to admit holding the controller isn't too bad. But oh my god, I don't know what I've done to it. I have no idea. I was literally just, you know, clicking the buttons on the mouse, and this pain suddenly went up it like a, I don't know what. Wowzers. Anyway, I've had it before, so it's nothing new. But yeah, so there you go. Now I've got to go out and get some turmeric. Unbelievable. Yes. Anyway, it's a bit better today. I had literally no movement in it Monday and Tuesday. No movement at all. I couldn't even lift my arm above my head. As you can see, I can do that now. It's twinging a little bit, but it's not too bad. But literally Monday and Tuesday, well bad. I had to revert to my left arm because I'm a right-armed person, so I had to revert to my left arm to do everything. Yeah, it's well bad. I don't know what I've done, but yeah, as I say, I've done it a few times before, so it's not the first time. But it's just surprising when you suddenly get that whoosh of pain and you're like, ah! Feel like you're gonna die, and that's it, isn't it? But yeah, so there you go. The Indian Grand Prix only lasted in 2013 when it first appeared on the F1 calendar in 2011. Know that feeling well. Yes. I've had it several times before. I had it in my left arm about 5 or 10 years ago, and it's never actually recovered. If I do a certain movement, like I can't remember what it is, whether I stretch it out or whatever, I still get a sharp twinge, and that was like 10 years ago. But my right arm's been pretty good up to now, but until Monday. When it exploded. Yes, trying to do the ERL race was pretty painful, I have to say. Luckily, as I said, holding the controller isn't too bad. But when you've got pain in your arm anyway, and you're just holding something, it still sort of makes it worse, doesn't it? So, yeah, I got through it anyway. I didn't do very well, but I got through it. So, yeah. New arm for Dave. Paddock Lesbians, as you're going to Tesco's, can you get me a new arm, please? Yes, it's on the it's on the aisle right next to the frozen vegetables. Yeah, frozen vegetables right next to there. You'll see new arms for Dave. It's got its own section. Just get me one, will you? And I'll give you the money when you got it. Okay. Thank you very much. Matthew says, put Hungary first race of the season as your season. No, Matthew D'Souza. No, we do not need. We never ever need Hungary on the calendar ever. It's a horrible circuit. I can't stand it. It needs to go. Just get rid of it. Also, why didn't you pit? Well, the simple answer to that, Matt, was because if I'd have pitted, I had 2 cars behind me, which were only a couple of seconds behind, which was Mikey and Dan. So if I'd have pitted, I would have ended up behind them. So that's why I couldn't pit. I had no chance of pitting. The rest of the guys behind me were like a minute behind, so it wasn't a problem. But those 2 were only a couple of seconds behind me. So I couldn't pit. I had no choice but to carry on. So that's what I did. Now, It could have been okay. It wasn't because I got a puncher, but it could have been okay. But then my tyre was at 97%, so it's quite understandable. But yeah, if I'd have come in one lap later on my first set of tyres, which was those red ones, horrible tyres, if I'd have come in one lap earlier, I probably would have just made it to the end. But unfortunately, those tyres were horrible and absolutely knackered, so I had to come in when I did. But yeah, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Lots of things I could have done, but didn't do. But there you go. Anyway, we had a bit of controversy after the race, but I'm still waiting for the announcement, so no doubt that'll be on at some point. Shane says most of the Gran Turismo games have Formula 1 cars and other Formula cars. Yes, they do. Yes, even I think back to was it GT3 had Formula 1 type cars, didn't it? The Polyphony digital car or whatever, wasn't it? And then they just carried it on from there going forwards. I can't remember any Formula 1 cars in GT2 though, to be honest. I don't think there was. I think the physics being on the PS1, I don't think it would have allowed for but there was definitely one on GT3, I remember, and they're not, as I say, onwards from them. They've just carried it on, haven't they? Fresh sauce with 6 laps to go, you'd have got third. Yeah, I probably would have done. I probably would. But as I say, Matthew, hindsight is a wonderful thing. A wonderful thing. Yes. Shane says the Toro Rosso STR from 2006 was the last ever V10 powered F1 car to race in Formula 1. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And they had to put a restrictor on it, didn't they? Because of all the other cars were still running the older, running the new V8s, weren't they? But this one was running the V10, but it had to have a restrictor on it, so the horsepower wasn't, the rev limit was limited, so the horsepower wasn't totally available. Otherwise, they would have been beating all the other V8 cars. But yeah, I remember that. It was some kind of engine deal, wasn't it, that they'd had from the previous year, and they managed to carry it forward into 2006, providing the engines were rev limited. Joe rubbing it in at the end of the... I know. But there is an announcement, but I've got to wait for him to announce it, and he hasn't done it yet, because, you know what he's like. He's looking after the babies. The babies. Yes, he's got 2 of them now. I told him not to, but he just won't listen to me. I told him not to, but he just won't listen. And so he's got 2 of them now. 2 little rugrats, and yeah, it's just ridiculous. He's got a little girl, which is basically, she's got him wrapped around her little finger. Oh my God. I'm not even going to go into details. Not going to go into details, but it's just, oh yes. It's epic. It's epic. It really is. It was pretty detuned. Yes, it was pretty detuned. As I say, it had the rev limit on it, because I remember you could drive that in Championship Edition, couldn't you, on the PS3? Yes, but yes, it was rev limited, obviously to curb the horsepower. Otherwise, it would have just possibly would have won the championship. I don't think it would have done because the drivers that were there in 2006 weren't up to much, really, were they? Was it Jan Maria Bruno, you're saying? I can't remember. 2006, a long time ago. But the drivers wouldn't have been able to win the championship, but the car would have potentially been in that situation if it hadn't have been rev limited, because obviously it was, a lot faster than the V8s. So yeah, that's why they had to put the rev limit on it. I think it was something to do with, because they took over Minardi, didn't they? Because that team is Minardi, basically. And they still had the deal for the next year, and so they were allowed to continue it just for 1 year as long as they rev limited the engine. I think that's how it worked anyway. But yes, could have been world championships. The Toro Rosso could have been world champions, but yes, not to be. Can't hear Dom on your streams. Well, Dom is currently in the USA right now, spooning with Joseph Plantpot, so that could be a reason why he's not coming through on the streams, because they're both at his house and they're both using the same network, so he probably hasn't got his voice set to be shared. No doubt he'll be back next week, back at his home base. He's been there for weeks. I don't know what he's doing. He says he sorts out their shopping, helps with the care of the babies. I don't know. I wonder if he's their fluffer as well. Do you think he's their fluffer? Yeah, I reckon he's their fluffer as well. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, he's been there for weeks. He has. But yeah, it's probably why his voice isn't coming through on the streams, because I say they're all at Joe's house right now. Don makes up 80% of the noise. Yes, he does. Shane says, no, there wasn't any Formula 1 or any Formula 1 cars in Gran Turismo 1 or 2. I didn't think there was. Gran Turismo 3 was the first Gran Turismo game to feature those kind of cars. Yeah, as I say, I think the physics wouldn't have possibly allowed that to happen for the old PS1 games, because they were pretty primitive, weren't they? So I doubt that they would have been able to incorporate open wheel, because obviously, all the cars in the game were like touring cars, so they were closed in, and then once you put open wheel cars in, it's a whole new ball game, because you've got to have the contact model with the fact that the wheels are open. So yeah, they probably would have had to have waited until the PS2 era before they could implement that. Yes, with GT3. Oh my God, what a game that was. Yes. And in the end, they were so determined to sell it to you that they sold it with every PlayStation 2. And you had no choice. I remember that because I got that deal. Yes, I got that deal. When I got my PS2, which was quite a long way after it had been out, because it was quite expensive. I mean, I talk about expense now when you're looking at the PS5 at, what is it, 425 quid now, isn't it? Or 450. How much is it in the UK now? It's gone up again, I'm sure it has. Hang on a minute. Let me look that up. Right, here it is. PS5 in the UK is currently £479.99 at Argus. Yes. We've got the digital version there for £429 from Very. But that looks like the retail price. $479. That's of course the disc version. And $429 looks like the official digital version. I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? Crazy. We moaned back in the day for £299 for the PlayStation 2. We were like, are you serious? We can't afford that. And I was one of those. That was way back in, 2001 or whatever it was. That was way out of my price bracket. So I had to wait until a lot later, and then they did that deal where it was available only with GT3. You had no choice. You had to buy it with GT3. That's the only ones they were selling. So I bought it with Gran Turismo 3, obviously. I got the game for free, yes, but it was still $2.99 to buy. That's just crazy, isn't it? Crazy prices. And I understand now. I've just seen that the digital edition of the PlayStation 5 has got a 1 terabyte NVMe drive in it, and now they're bringing out a revision model of this digital edition. It's only gonna have an 825 gig NVMe, which was basically the same as the launch model PS5s. And in case you're wondering why they're going backwards, they're doing it purely so they haven't got to increase the price of the PS5 again. So they're cutting costs by reducing the hard drive, so they haven't got to put the price up again on this new model of PS5. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. I've never seen hardware that's now, 2020? 5 years old, going up in price. It's just redonkulous. I mean, look at the PlayStation 3. The big white elephant of the Sony brand, the PlayStation 3, £425 when it came out in the UK. £425. Everyone went, are you crazy? But, in a very short amount of time, the price was just dropping like anything because it was not selling well at all. In fact, it was selling disastrously. I think the first quarter of the PS3 was possibly the worst selling of any PlayStation console because of the price, $425. But then they reduced that to $399, pretty sharpish. And then very, very quickly they came out with the slim version, which had another price cut, I do believe. But yeah, the price of the PS3 was just falling as it was going through its development years. I actually picked one up right towards the end of its life cycle from Tesco's of all places. Yes, Tesco's. Can I have my shopping please and a PlayStation 3? Yes, that's when they used to do that kind of thing. Right at the end of its life cycle, I picked up a PlayStation 3, a PS3 Super Slim for £99. £99. Yep. I'll say that was right at the... I don't think the PS4 had come out yet, but as I say, it was right at the end of its life cycle. £99. It was a special offer for Christmas. I had some Christmas money, so I thought, yeah, let's just go for it. At that price, it was worth it, I thought. So yeah, £99. But it's just crazy. The PS5 by now should be $299. It should be $299. That's how the trends have gone over the years for consoles. It should be $299. And there's no justification for it. There's no justification for it because every model they make, every revision they make cuts costs. So they're actually making these consoles cheaper. When they did the Slim console, they cut costs to make it cheaper. So there's no justification apart from greed that they are increasing the price. That's all it is. Increasing the price. They can go on to their blue in the face about inflation. Inflation's come down. I'm sorry. Yes, when it was 11%, I can understand why the cost, but inflation's come down. So there's no justification for it. It's exactly the same with food. Okay, they conned us all by saying that food was so expensive because of inflation. Inflation's now dropped. I don't know what it is now, 3 or 4%, where it was 11%. Inflation's dropped, and yet food is now getting more and more expensive all the time. Food is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And there's just no justification for it apart from greed, because they know that it's something that we need. I mean, obviously a PS5 is not something that we need, but food is definitely something that we need. It's a commodity that we cannot do without, so they're increasing the price. Yes, and it's just ridiculous, really is. But yeah, that PS5 should be $299 by now, 5 years later, and it's now going up in price. It's force. If you want the one with the disc drive, which personally I would do, I'd have one of the digital models as a second PlayStation if I was rich. But yeah, if I was having, I'd have one with the disc drive definitely. But $479, that's just redonkulous prices. Really is redonkulous prices. But there you go. The Renault R25 from 2005, where Fernando Alonso won his first championship, is my favourite engine sound. Yeah, that was a great car, the old R25. Great car. And the livery was very special. I just love the livery on that car. So, yeah, it's just sad that we don't see cars with liveries like that anymore. They're all generic, horrible stuff, aren't they? Whereas, back in the past, great liveries. But that's progress for you. That's progress for you. Thank you, Mr. Helium Trophy. Vit Antonio Luizzi and Scott Speed, which, he should have had a court injunction about his name, because he certainly wasn't speedy, was he? No, certainly wasn't. So as I say, they would not have won the championship with drivers of those caliber especially Scott Speed. But imagine if they'd have suddenly worked it out and they hadn't got their engines restricted and they put, a couple of really great drivers in there. Imagine the scenes. Imagine the scene. It would have been like Brawn all over again, wouldn't it? Oh my God. Because, I mean, I can't see any reason why they wouldn't have won if the car wasn't detuned. I can't see why they wouldn't have done. Because it would have beaten the V8s, definitely. What a thing that would have been. But unfortunately, the FIA quickly worked that out. And so, detuned cars it was. Detuned cars, yes. Shane says, I can't believe it's now 20 years since Fernando Alonso won his first. Yeah, 20 years. 20 years, and he's still in Formula One. He's taken a break, but he's come back and he's still in Formula One. Remarkable. Why don't you get invited to Plant Pot House? I never get invited to Plant Pot House, apart from the fact he's 12,000 miles away, which is quite a huge hurdle. I must admit, yes, quite a huge hurdle. But even if it wasn't, I'd never. Unfortunately, Joseph won't ever come over here because he's scared of flying. Yes, I'm not just talking about a slight scare. He's got a serious phobia about flying. Yes, so I understand anyway. Yes, even if he goes on holiday, he goes on holiday on any other route that he can apart from flying. I think he went on holiday once. I think he said he went by train or something, like a 20 hour journey by train, something like that. Anyway, I don't know where he went. I can't remember. It's probably somewhere in the US because it's so big. It takes you that long to get anywhere. But yeah, about a 20-hour journey he took instead of taking an aeroplane, which would have got him there in like a couple of hours, I do believe. But yeah, so he's got a serious phobia about flying. No, not actually flying, but crashing. But it's still one of the safest forms of transport. Yes, still one of the safest. That's what's remarkable. He's scared of flying, and yet he drives a car, which is like 10 times more likely to be involved in a smash than an aeroplane is. I mean, let's face it. How many aeroplanes are flying above your head right now? Hundreds, thousands, and how many crash? Exactly. Very, very few. Very, very few. So yeah, it's just incredible that he drives a car and yet he's afraid of flying. I think there's a good reason for that, yeah. Oh yeah, I don't think the message got to you, but you should search the Monaco Rally, where you could see some couple banging away while a rally car flies Oh. Now that's piqued my interest. Monaco Rally. Let's have a look at this. Let's see if I get banned from YouTube. Well, if it's on YouTube, it's going to be censored, isn't it? There you go. I've just put it in there, and I've put it in capitals because my arm's hurting and I can't be bothered to change it. Monaco Rally, couple banging away. Exactly as you described it. I'm just going to put that into Google and see what comes up. There you go. Monaco Rally, couple banging away. Is this it? Hard right, couple shagging, don't cut. Is that it? I'm not quite sure. What's it on? It's on YouTube. Now, please forgive me, but I don't. Even though it's on YouTube, that doesn't mean I could get an age restriction on this. So what I'm going to do is Turn the audio off. I'm going to have to watch this first. Somehow okay, it's okay. I can show you this because it's only pictures. I don't know whether there's an actual video, but then it looks like it happened so quickly. Right, okay. I can show you this. We put the audio on so you can hear it as well. Right, here we go.
Maybe a different kind of action. Jordan Serderidis was ploughing his way through the forests of Monte Carlo when his dash cam caught
now you can just put all your rallying puns that you can get out here, can't you? Hard right, easy left.
sight of something slightly interesting to the right. A couple doing something a bit dodgy, bumping uglies instead of watching the rallying. I really could not believe this. It's really cold in Monte Carlo. Why are you doing sex? I mean, I'm a little jealous. I love motorsport, but whoa, not that much. I wish my girlfriend liked rallying enough to want to get ploughed next to a rally stage.
Nice. No, I can't actually find a video, but if there was a video, it'd be over in about a second, wouldn't it? Because that's a freeze frame. Because I've got the freeze frames here somewhere. There we go. Here's the freeze frames. Randy couple appear to have sex by side of track during the rally. Ah, jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Fantastic. I love the way they've pixelated it out as well. Fantastic. Let's have a look at the Daily Star. They're bound to have had that as an exclusive, I expect. Randy couple caught having sex on side of road at Monte Carlo Rally by racer's dashcam. When was this? Oh, January 19. Look at me. 1954. January 2023. Fans of the... I like this. Warning, explicit content. Fans of the Monte Carlo Rally were expecting fast-paced action, but they would not be prepared for two lovers going at it by the side of the road. A Randy couple were caught having sex by the side of a racetrack in footage captured on a driver's dashcam. The Monte Carlo Rally got off to an exhilarating start on Thursday as drivers raced around the French Riviera in Monaco and southeast France, but two fans were especially excited by the action on show as they got their own by the side of the track. Wow. And there it is. Viewers back home couldn't believe their eyes while fans in attendance watched the carnal activities unfold. Jeez. Jeez. And fans quickly took to Twitter to check whether their eyes had deceived them. Yes, this happened in the middle of the Monte Carlo Rally Live, 21 user, with photographic evidence of the bonking. Another wrote, that's one way to increase WRC viewership, while a third added, no way! Imagine flying down during a race and seeing that. And a fourth joke, the spectators are doing their best to keep warm along the side. It was the first time a couple was filmed having sex live at the 4-day racing event, but viewers will be sure to pay more attention to their screens as drivers zoom around southern France's roads over the next few days. Wowzers. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is fantastic. Right, where do we get to? I'll take the headphones off now. Thank you for that, Helium. That was very enjoyable. I didn't even know that happened. Test drive Ferrari Racing Legends on the PS3 and Xbox 360 features some Ferrari Formula 1 cars. Oh, thank you, Shane. Test drive Formula... don't remember that one. Both Formula 1 and Formula 197 on the PS1 have the best cheats. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. They really do have the best cheats. It's a shame now that they've gone down the trophy route, because I much prefer cheats over trophies any day. Any day. Helium Trevor says there's a 2 terabyte digital version here that costs €800. Oh my goodness. €800? That's ridiculous, isn't it? That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Who the fuck has that kind of money? Exactly. How much is the Pro these days? Because that was more expensive, wasn't it? Oh, I keep forgetting to take it off caps lock. Never mind. Oh, you can get one from PlayStation Direct. Oh, that's £700. 2 terabyte storage. £700. Oh my god. Oh my god. And it's already been proved by that excellent YouTube channel called Digital Foundry that it just really isn't worth the money. The extra horsepower you get out of the Pro, I think they said it was about 30% or something. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. You might as well just stick to an ordinary PlayStation. Yes. I'm going to have the Sony police around my house in a minute, knocking on my door saying, "What the hell are you talking about? No! PS5 Pro's the best one. Everyone needs one of those." No, they don't. Look at that. You can lease it for $17.99 a month. Lease it for $17.99 a month. Unbelievable. PS5 Pro, £700. What's that in euros? I haven't got a euro symbol on my keyboard. I'll have to just put euros then, won't I? £807.21 in euros. Oh my goodness. €800 for a PlayStation? That's just ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. €800. Let me see if this works. PS5. During lifetime. The PS5 has changed since its 2020 launch, increasing in some regions in 2022 and again in 2024-25 due to economic conditions and tariffs. Bloody Trump. A PS5 standard edition console launched at $499 and $499 in Europe and was later followed by a digital edition for $3.99 and $3.99. As of late 2025, excuse me, the console prices are approximately $549 for the standard and $449 for the digital version in the US. Yeah, it's just gone up $50 in the US, hasn't it? Launch prices $4.99, $4.49 is when it came out in the UK, and $3.59 for the digital version. Wowzers. And now, and that was November 2020, we're almost approaching November 2025, which is what, 4 years, 5 years? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. I can't even believe the PS5's been out for 5 years. Well, it has, because of course we had COVID, which kind of cocked it up for almost 2 years, really. So it's really only been out 3 years, really, because nobody could get hold of one during COVID, could they? So, although it's 5 years, it's really only been 3. But even so, 5 years later, and it's now more expensive than when it started, because it's now $479 over $449. And if this was the good old days, as I say, it should be free, $2.99 at this stage. 5 years later, it should be $2.99. Unbelievable. They can't even blame it now on those NVMe drives that they've all got inside the PS5, because admittedly when they came out in 2020, they were pretty rare. There wasn't very many of those drives around. Nowadays, they're everywhere, and they're cheap as chips. Cheap as chips, honestly. Those NVMe drives are just ridiculous prices now, and yet when they came out, they were like £200 a pop. So they haven't even got that excuse why the price is going up. Greed. Greed, Sony. Greed. That's all it is. Greed. Unbelievable. Do you know how Michael Schumacher is doing? He has a skin accident in 2030. He hasn't been heard of. How's he doing? I haven't heard how he's doing, Shane. No, I mean, I don't keep abreast of how it's going on. I do understand that Corey and his wife has just turned around in the past few weeks and said she's now got nothing else left to sell, which is quite saddening news. If anyone's had medical issues, you would know that it's a very, very expensive business. Very, very expensive business, and you can go through thousands and thousands of pounds in cash very, very quickly. Now, luckily, Michael had millions and millions in the bank, but eventually that's going to run out because there's no income being earned from Michael because of obviously his current condition. So, you know, eventually that's going to be drained, and she's been selling so much stuff, so much stuff. She's now admitted that there's nothing left. What that means for Michael, I don't know, because I understand that he's got carers that are looking after him, as well as Corrine, because she's looking after him, but she's also getting help from carers as well. So what that means, I don't know. It's always a shame though when it happens that, eventually the money runs out. But unfortunately, when you get involved in some kind of serious accident like that, this is what happens. Doesn't matter how sick you are, it still has to all be paid for, and that money's got to come from somewhere. And so it's just a shame. But no, I haven't heard anything about his condition. I mean, deep down, I think every Formula One fan knows what his condition is. It's not good. It's not good at all. And the fact that he's been squirreled away to their house and hasn't been seen by anyone for so many years. I mean, the fact they've been able to do that is quite remarkable. If you consider the technology we got these days with drones, I mean, no one's got a drone outside their house and managed to. I don't know. It's very, very weird. Very, very weird. But with all the technology available, and going to have photographers doing their usual with long zoom cameras trying to get photos, that nobody's even managed to get a photo of him. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. But yeah, obviously we all know that his condition is not good. I understand that he's reached a level of improvement and that's it, which is what you do get with a head injury. You get to a certain level and that's as far as you're ever going to go, because obviously, unfortunately, the brain is still damaged, and the brain is one of the few parts of your body that's still very much unknown in terms of medical science. Medical science has come on a long way since medieval times. Obviously, it's a hell of a lot better than it was in the old days, but the brain is still one of the untapped things that medical science really can't work out, because it is very, very complicated. Very, very complicated. And once you get a brain injury, it's very difficult to recover from that. Some people do. Some people make miraculous recoveries, I have to say, from brain injuries, but it just depends on what part of the brain that you got injured. That's a really strong factor on your recovery, because you can, I do believe you can lose about a third of your brain and still be fully, active, and you can come back for that. I remember that soldier a few years ago. He got shot in the. I won't go into details, but he got shot in the head and lost part of his brain, but he ended up being fine. So you can lose some, but it all depends on what part of the brain gets damaged. That's the crucial part of it. It's the part of the brain that gets damaged, and unfortunately, it seems in Michael's situation that the brain trauma was quite severe. Which, let's not beat around the bush. If you're on skis, I mean, he would have been going quite fast, even at the slowest speed. You're talking about 30 miles an hour, but I think he was probably going a hell of a lot faster than that. I'm going to, for the amount of injury, I'm going to say he's probably going about 60 miles an hour straight into a tree. Just imagine that. The blunt force injury, apart from anything else, of going straight into a tree. Even if you got a helmet on, doesn't make any difference. A helmet's not going to save you at them kind of speeds, going literally smack straight into it's not going to help. It's not going to help at all. So yeah, don't know, Shane, don't know. But as I say, we all know his condition isn't good. It isn't good. Just give him a Xanax and he'll be fine. Yeah, that race, the race that has happened the most times ever, is next. Hello, Mr. Rugar. Welcome to the stream. Back from my Aldi shopping trip. I thought you said Tesco's. He don't even know where he's going half the time. Ran out of milk. Yeah, me as well. It's on YouTube. Yeah, we've got it. Thank you. Schumacher doesn't have the right date next to his dash yet. Otherwise, didn't know a damn thing, really, to be honest. That's true. Hill in between crests. Ah, yes, I see what you did there. Ferrari has won Monza 20 times. Wowzers. Oh, thank you, Mr. Regara. Thank you for the pound. Wow, I'm going to put a like on that. There you go. Thank you very much, sir. Let's put one of those on it as well. There you go. That's very generous of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Getting in there, says Helium Trophy. We winning. Yes. You can see a few of them more interested in the sex than the car whizzing past. Well, yes. That was World Rally 2023, wasn't it? I'm getting back into it now, I must admit. I do like it. I don't know how I was leading. Spent most of the stream shopping. I know. Your top dog, it seems. It's roughly the same. Both Formula 1 cars and sprint cars look the same at first, yes. Moral of the story, don't vote in orange fascists if you want affordable consoles. Yes, I understand. Yes. Well, I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him. No. Pretty much. All PlayStations are at least good. Even 3, which is the worst one, is probably 8 out of 10. Oh, I have to agree with you. Obviously, you know, I have to agree with you because the name of this channel is F1 Games PlayStation. And yes, I do agree. I loved all the PlayStation consoles. Even the old grey one from the start. Yes. I think there's one behind me. Can I? No, I can't move the camera around. Oh, yes, I can. No, I think it won't. Can you see it amongst all the Hoover and the rubbish and Grogu and... Where's it gone? No, it's not there anymore. What have I done with it? I've moved it. I've moved it, everyone. Oh, my God. Yes, but anyway, I even like the old grey box that started the revolution back in, was it 1994, 1995? I think it was 95 in the UK. Yes, that was £299 as well, in case anyone didn't remember. Yes, for the old PlayStation. Played CDs. Played games on CDs, lads. Oh my God, I've been brought up on cartridges. Well, actually, no, I started on tapes. Audio tapes on the Spectrum. That's how I started. Then it went to floppy disks, actually. I remember. Floppy disks. Oh, like these. Yes, that's how we used to get up. What's this one? Oh, Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix. Now this is a Bobby Dazzler. This is Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix. Yes, we had floppy disks. Now, these aren't floppy, but when they first came out, they were big things, 5.5 inches. That's what she said. 5.5 inches, and they actually were floppy, because you could go like that and they'd floppy. That's why they're called floppy disks. These are still called floppy disks, but they're not floppy. No, they're not floppy. These are 3.5 inch floppy disks. And we used to have all our games on these. On all these. Yes. Yes. It was great. It was great. Now, in case you didn't know what this was, it's a floppy disk. And it's basically like a record. If you anyone remembers what a record is, if I slide that along. Put it to camera, Dave. Put it to camera. If I slide that along like that, you see that bit inside there? Yeah. It's like a vinyl record. It's not a vinyl record. It's a magnetic disc. It's a magnetic disc inside that spins round, and all your data goes on that disc. But if you took that apart and took that out from inside, it looks like a miniature vinyl record. Yeah. And that's what it is inside. And that's how we got all our games. Yes. You put that in the slot and away you go. Yes. Can't beat it. I've still got a computer over there which has got a floppy disk drive on it, dating back from 2005. I must fire that up one day and see if it still works. It'll probably go bang, but it'll be worth a laugh. So yes, so we had the floppies, and then of course we moved on to cartridges. Now everyone's going to remember cartridges if they ever had a Super Nintendo, which I think everybody on the planet had at some point. Now, Super Nintendo, there it is. I've got that. Where's my finger? There it is. Super Nintendo. There it is. Everyone had one of those. Jeez Louise. And that took cartridges. Cartridges. And cartridges we all thought were the future. Were the future, yes. But the trouble with cartridges is they couldn't play full motion video. No. Couldn't play full motion video, and that was starting to get very, very popular. But CDs could, because they used the old MPEG-1 format, which is what your phone used to use if you ever had a flip phone back in 1995. You know those old flip phones? Yes, you could send video to each other, and it was MPEG-1. Quality was horrendous, but that's what you could use for full motion video. And so when Sony brought out the PlayStation 1 in 1995 with CDs on it, they could play full motion video, and it was just absolutely epic. If you think of all the old PS1 games with lots of full motion video, Tomb Raider just as an example, that was full of full motion video, which looked so much better than the game itself. It was, yes, it was really great. And then you'd go back to the game and you'd go, oh God, this looks ugly. But the full motion video was just absolutely perfect. It really was absolutely perfect. Loved it. So that's how really the PlayStation took off. The fact that they used CDs, which was a pretty not new format. CDs have been around since 1978, so, and this was, you know, push it on to 1995. Not a new format, but in terms of consoles, it was new. It was new, and you know, that was great. That was really great. It really was. So yeah, just loved it. Yeah, CDs have been around a lot longer than you think. I think it was 78 or getting on to 1980s anyway, but they didn't become sort of commercially popular until sort of, I think, the late 80s when they started to take over from cassettes. Something like that anyway. Late 80s. But they'd had CDs. I found this out from a very good YouTube channel called Techmoan. If anyone's seen that channel, he does lots of good stuff. And I thought CDs came out, you know, but no, they actually started making them way back at the end of the 70s, but not commercially. They were just like, you know, for industrial use. They weren't for commercial use. But when they did finally start to take off, like it was like the late 80s as cassette was starting to wind down, and then of course it exploded at the late 80s and early 90s for CDs, and that of course is where Sony took advantage of it and used it in their PlayStation. And in fact, Sony's done that with every iteration of the PlayStation, because the PlayStation 2 had DVD, of course, for the first time, and that was just, they sold bucket loads purely on the fact that it could play DVDs. You could put a DVD movie in and play it. Yes, the picture quality was awful, absolutely dreadful, yes, but you could play a DVD on a PS2. And everybody loved it. And then, of course, the PS3 came along. Blu-ray, which was invented by Sony themselves, yes, because they wanted to corner the market. And so they invented Blu-ray. And, of course, you know, another new format, and that was great. But then, of course, they had the problem with the PS4. There was no new innovation. So they had to just go with Blu-ray again. And it wasn't really until the PS5 came along that they've actually upgraded the disc drive again. And now you've got a UHD drive in the PlayStation 5. But that's really the only innovation they could put in a UHD drive, because there hasn't really been any sort of, and you know, physical drives now are starting to disappear quite rapidly, unfortunately. I'm a great lover of physical media, so it's a shame, but it's still going to live. It's still going to live. Same as vinyl's still going all these years. It's still going to carry on going. It's not going to disappear. It's just going to become a niche format going forward, which is a shame, but it was going to happen. The current is by far the worst one. Oh, yeah, I agree with you. Formula 1 98 on the PS1 has a cheat which is for the bonus tracks. Yes, it is, Shane. That's what I put in every time I do that video every Halloween. Yes, that one. Best Formula 1 game was just called Grand Prix Season. Thing is, PS3's launch price was strange, to say the least, and the move dragged it down slightly too, but they brought it back eventually. They did bring it back, but they only brought it back by A, decreasing the price, which brought more sales, obviously, and also coming out with a slim version, and then even more coming out with the super slim version. Now, if I just move over here, you'll have to excuse me, because I've said at the start of the stream, as I drop my bloody headphones on the floor, well, I have got a bad arm. Yes, this is the console that really brought PS3 back into the limelight again after its hell. Now, I haven't got the original fat version because there's very few actually working models of those still around, but this is the version. As I'm trying to hold it up because it's still bloody heavy. This is the version that brought PS3 back from the brink of disaster. The first revision, the slim line model, yes, it came out at a reduced price. Bloody hell, it's heavy. I can't believe how heavy this is, even though I've never even picked up a PS3 fat. I can't imagine how heavy it must be. But yeah, this was the one that brought it back from the brink because they slimmed it down. And I have to say, I mean, it doesn't look much looking at it on camera, but it really does, in my opinion, look a lot better than the original fat one, because the fat one was so glossy and it would scratch up like shit. This is a matte finish, which is I don't think there's even a single scratch on this. There's a few marks, but they're not scratches. They're just like dirt marks. But yeah, it was just great console. Still had the sliding disc tray in it. Couple of USB ports. They did reduce the USB ports, but it still had the Blu-ray drive. Still had Wi-Fi as well. So yeah, this was the one that brought Sony back from the brink of disaster, basically, because they reduced the price and everybody started buying these. Then the Slims, everybody started buying these because they were just great. And then how am I going to get that back in there now with one hand? And then, of course, they came out with this one. I understand from looking at Wikipedia that the last models of these came out in 2016, which was 2 years, 3 years after the PS4 came out. They were still in production till 2016, and that's this little beauty, the Super Slim. Yes, stripped down even more. Now, lots of people hate these. I do understand why, but to me, these are the best versions, because there was a lot of problems with the early versions of the PlayStation 3 with the capacitors dying and what have you. These are the best versions. If you ever want to get a PS3 now, go and get one of these, because all the PS3 Super Slims are the latest ones that were made by Sony. So they are the best. Now, they got problems, of course. This sliding disc tray, I'm trying to do it backwards. Sliding disc tray was naff. It reminded me very much of the PS2. Hang on a minute. The PS2 Slim with this thing on it. Yes, that one. Reminded me of that. But this PS2 was also flew out the door when it first came out, because it was so much smaller and lighter, and it hardly made any noise at all. It did have a fan in it. A lot of people didn't think it had any cooling in it, but no, there was a fan in it. A tiny little fan. And it did used to get very, very hot at times. Very, very hot at times. But this was also a great revision for Sony. Great revision, I have to say. The PS2 Slim. But this opening tray, on the PS3 Super Slim was a bit naff. But if you ignore that and just use it as a console, it's a PS3 console, and these were the best models. So basically, just put your game in and play it, and just forget about this because it's irrelevant. Actually, in terms of lastability, these are the best ones, because they were the last ones out of the factory, and by this time they've got most of the problems sorted out. The only problems you get with these are with this slidey tray. The slidey tray breaks sometimes, and then it won't close, and unless that's closed, the disc won't start spinning. That's the only problems. But the lasers inside seem to work a very long time compared to the old lasers. They do seem to last a long time, and they're quite easy to replace. As you can see, that whole unit just comes out and you can replace it. And because it's one of the latest ones off the line, you can still get these on eBay, like the replacement lasers, whereas the earlier versions are pretty difficult to find now. Pretty difficult to find. So there you go. PS2. Now I've got to try and get that back in the hole now. That's what she said. Oh. And pick my headphones up, which I dropped on the floor. Here we go. Right. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Congrats to Will Power on 17 successful years at Penske. 2 titles, 4 runner-up finishes, 1 Indy 500, 45 wins, 71 poles. Yes, well done to Will Power. Yes, Will Power. Planet Lesbian says the gaming industry as a whole is dying as a mainstream thing. It's becoming a more hobbyist industry for nerds now. This is true. This is true. And unfortunately, one of the most popular formats that is dying is the racing game. Yes, the racing game format is basically dying. But that's more to do with the fact that there's just not a lot they can do now with the racing format. It's run its course. It really has, and yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, there's really not a lot else they can do. Hello, Mr. Plano Plessy. I forgot about the Hookster Talks Rubbish. Yes, Hookster Talks Rubbish. That's it. That's what I should title every stream. Hookster Talks Rubbish. Is TB ticklish? Says Matthew. Just I don't know. Let's find out. TB. Are you ticklish? Hey, are you ticklish? Should we tickle you? Should we tickle you? Tickle. You're slightly aroused now. Bloody bears. Right, anyway, let's continue. Congratulations to Oscar Piastri on winning the Italian Grand Prix. Yes. Congratulations, Oscar's Pastry, on winning the Italian Grand Prix. Yes, indeed. Congratulations. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Yes. Because Lando's car will probably not be mentally strong enough again and probably break down. Yes. Yeah, that's going to be awful. Dave was washed. Did you hear Stefano De Monacarli saying that he's looking at making the F1 races shorter? I did not hear that. I did not hear that. Is that in the F1 news? Because I've got the F1 news right here, but I didn't see it. Right. Well, we've got a response to this from Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso. Oh, yes, I'll accept your cookies. No, I don't want notifications. Please go away. Yes, I accept your care policy. Oh, my God. Can we get there? Can we get there? Alonso slams shorter F1 races. Problem is society, not the sport. I quite agree with you there, Fernando. What is all this bloody shit at the bottom? Go away. Google. Yeah, I don't want this ad. Take it away. Formula One's latest debate is revving up and Fernando Alonso is not holding back. The two-time world champion has thrown a verbal haymaker at the idea of shorter Grand Prix, a concept floated by F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali to cater to younger fans' supposedly shrinking attention spans. Oh, God. Oh, God. With the sport mulling more sprint races and tweaks to race lengths, Alonso, alongside heavyweights Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon, has weighed in with a mix of defiance, pragmatism and a touch of nostalgia. At the heart of the matter is Domenicali's suggestion that F1 should trim race durations on Sunday to keep younger audiences glued to their screens. Oh, I'm going queasy now. I'm going queasy. Alonso, however, isn't buying it, comparing F1 to football, saying distractions don't mean the sport should change. I will be in front of the TV when that happens, so I don't know. I don't think it's a problem with the sport, so probably it's not needed to change, Alonso told reporters at Monza on Thursday. But Stefano knows better than anyone, so if he thinks that is what's needed, we are in good hands in this kind of decisions with him. Football matches are a little bit long. When I sit in front of the TV, I'm not watching the 90 minutes concentrated. I go to the kitchen, go back. I mean, there's always some moments of distraction. But no one is talking about having 60-minute football matches or something like that. It's a problem of the society and the kids and not the sport. So probably it's not needed to change. Alonso isn't alone in his caution. 4 times world champion Max Verstappen, a strong opponent of change, echoed the sentiment, saying F1's current sprint race format is already intense. Yes, I see the positives. People are making more money, Verstappen said. But for me personally, I mean, I've talked about it many times. You know my opinion about it, but I also understand why they do it, to also make it a more exciting product on the day. Because I can understand, of course, when fans come to the track, it's more exciting to see cars race than just lap around in practice. For us, it's still very important to have practice, but I understand from a fan's point of view that it can be a bit boring. But F1 has been like this since the 1950s, so I understand that sports evolve and stuff like that, but we shouldn't go too crazy. I think a sprint race is already, from my side, crazy enough. You all know how I think about sprint races, but the current length of the race, I think it's fine. I mean, yeah, sometimes 1.5 hours, sometimes closer to 2. The Dutchman also took a philosophical jab at the push for constant excitement. In other sports as well, sometimes you have an exciting game, sometimes absolutely boring and you fall asleep, he added. That's sport for you. It cannot always make it exciting, because if it's always exciting, it becomes boring too. Ocon offers a measured perspective. Haas driver Esti Besti took a more nuanced view, suggesting that while most races shouldn't be shortened, some longer events like Singapore could be slightly reduced without harming the spectacle. A lot has been tried. I think it's good that we get consulted a little bit in this with Stefano, commented the Frenchman. But my opinion is that there's no need to make a big change about what we have. I think going to MotoGP stage would be a bit extreme for sure, to have a sprint weekend at every race. He pinned the drive for more action on today's consumer culture. So there you go. God, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. Apart from anything else, what about the Channel 4 highlights? That's going to be like 10 minutes long, isn't it? I hope to dear God that we never see it like the British Touring Car Championship, with like three rounds per race of short races. I just hope to God that never happens. Never happens. Because an F1 race is all about the strategy. It's always about lasting as long as you can on the tyres. If you start doing shorter rounds, well, apart from anything else, with the way the tyre compounds are, there won't be any need to pit. So you're going to have 3 races where no one pits. And that's going to be very, very boring. And in fact, that's not even going to be Formula 1 anymore. That isn't going to be Formula 1, because that is not how the format has been since the 1950s. So yeah, I hope that never happens. Never happens. If it does, I shall definitely then hang up my hat and not watch Formula One because no, I I've been very vocal about sprint races. I can't stand them. I don't think they contribute anything to the race weekend whatsoever. I think they're just a needless distraction, and obviously they're going to start doing more. It's obvious that's the way it's going. We've got 6 now. I can see it going to 8 very, very soon, and we'll probably end up with at least 10 or 12 in about 5 years' time. That's what's going to happen. But if that's as far as they're going to go, that's as far as they should go. The actual main race should not be shortened. Yes, of course, races are boring. Most of Formula One races at the moment are boring. They've been boring last year. They were boring this year, most of them. But we've had seasons like that before. 2004, everyone fell asleep. 2002, everyone fell asleep because of the Michael Schumacher dominance. Yes, they were both boring seasons because nothing was happening. But that's Formula One for you. But the format of shortening the races should not change. If they want to shave a few laps off some of the Grand Prix, I could go with that. I think a few laps shaved off of Singapore would be a good idea. Not 25%, so that it becomes like a 75% race. Just a couple of laps, because Singapore does seem to be a very, very long race. Very, very long race. So I'm all on board with just shaving a few laps off, because they have adjusted the lap counts for tracks since the racing started. They've always adjusted the race lengths. As cars have got faster, they've either reduced or increased the race laps. So I'm on board with that. If they want to shave a few laps off some of the circuits, I can live with that. But to actually shorten the races so it's only like 60 minutes, no, they should never do that. That's just ridiculous. It's not Formula One if you do that. It's not Formula One anymore. No. So leave it alone, Stefano Di Monicali, or whatever your bloody name is. Leave it alone. On top of the Popstar, oh, it's more of the All Saints. Oh, the All Saints. Yes. We love that. Fucking hell, it's the sprint races. Yeah, I know. Helium Trophy. I know. Shane says Formula 1 99, the PS1 is better than Formula 1 98. Yes, it is. Apparently, Hertha is headed to F2. I can see Alonso has said that Domenicali's great idea is unnecessary. Yes. There's one thing the PS3 had that the 360 didn't. The online was free. It was. It was. It was. And also, there are still people on the PS3 purely for the reason that it's still free. The only reason they're on the PS3 is because it's still free. A Super Nintendo was once one of the prizes on Bullseye. Same with a Super Nintendo and a Sega Master System. What a come down. You can get a Master System from eBay now for about 10 quid. About 10 quid. And Super Nintendos are going quite cheap as well. All these retro consoles had a real price increase, didn't they, about 5 years ago? They seemed to, retro stuff just skyrocketed, but now the values just dropped back down again. Yeah, so it's weird. It's weird. They're dirt cheap now. Dirt cheap. Dave had to do a side channel to see if he could do Jeff Crammond's F1. Dave will have to do a side to see if he can do. I should do, shouldn't I? I should do. That's what's that on? It's on the Commodore Amiga. I don't know whether my Commodore Amiga still works. I must. It's sitting underneath my feet off to the left hand side. I've got to fire that up and see if that still works again. I did use it recently though for a video I did. If anyone remembers that 40 years of gaming video I did, the 3-parter, I fired it up then. It was working fine. So yeah, I mean that's got to be 30 years old now. That Amiga. Yeah. Who wants to see a look back at Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix on the Commodore Amiga? Because I might do that anyway. Who wants to see that? A full-on race if it were possible. Yeah, I think you could do full races. The best thing about Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix is you could switch it to automatic, and the cars would race round for laps on their own. The only trouble is they didn't seem to do as good as you could do, unfortunately, but they would go on their own for a few laps and you could take over again. Of course, I'd have to do it all in one sitting because there's no way of saving it as you progress. In fact, I don't think there's any way of stopping it either, and you can't restart it. Yeah, you just got to do the whole race in one sitting, which used to last forever. I think it was like 2.5 hours or something. It was a long time. The N64 couldn't play full motion as they were still using cartridges, I think. Yeah, that's the reason, Plano Plessy. Yeah, still using cartridges and they couldn't do full motion video on the cartridge. It was only when CD came along that they could, and that's why PlayStation saw that and took its advantage. Even though, of course, if everyone remembers the history of PlayStation, it started off as the Sony Nintendo PlayStation. Yes, joint partnership with Nintendo, but then Nintendo pulled out of the deal, and so Sony went on their own. So otherwise, Sony and Nintendo could possibly still be together today. I don't think they would be. I think they would have parted their ways, but it's possible. It's possible. Sony, Nintendo. Yes. F1 games DOS. F1 games PC. Yes. Yes. Everyone wants that, don't they? Yes. Yes. I'm pretty sure I could probably do Jeff Crammond on. It must be available on emulation somehow, but it's probably very complicated to set up. I would have thought very complicated to set up because those old games always are. I would love to have a Super Nintendo and play Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing and other Formula 1 games on the Super Nintendo. Yes, Nigel Mansell's World Championship. I've got Nigel Mansell on the Amiga. All these discs I've got about 100 of these floppy. Oh, that's boring. That's office programs. We don't want them. But look at all this lot. Look at all these discs. I've got about 100 floppy disks here. Not here. In total, I've got about 100 floppy disks. Oh, these must be my own ones because there's no writing on them. But I've got Nigel Mansell. Nigel Mansell! Where are you, Nigel Mansell? Bloody boxes and boxes I got of them. Nope, they're all blanks as well. Not blanks, they just haven't got any labels on them. There's something on every single one of these discs, but God knows what. I really should go through them. But somewhere I've got Nigel Mansell. Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix. There he is. There he is. There you go, Shane. There you go. Nigel Mansell's, what was it called? World Championship for the Commodore Amiga. It's basically pretty much the same version as what you had on the N64, just with updated graphics, but basically the same. Nigel Mansell came on 2 discs. Yes. One, I'm doing this in reverse because when the camera looks at you, everything's in reverse. So disc 1, which is actually disc 2 as I'm moving it, but it's showing to you as disc 1. Disc 1 had all the setups, you know, like the menu setups and everything else. And then before you started a race, you had to take disc 1 out and put disc 2 in because disc 1 contained all the tracks. All the tracks were on disc 2. Yes. And then when you finished the game, yes, you're going to love this bit. You have to take the disc back out again and put disc 2 in, disc 1 back in, to then go through the menus again to move on to the next Grand Prix. And as soon as you were ready to do next Grand Prix, you had to put this 2 back in again because the tracks are on here. Ah, the fun and games we used to have, I'll tell you. The fun and games we used to have. Not like nowadays. Just press a button and it's digitally yours. Well, allegedly. Heated Trophy says, yeah, Techmone's a great channel. Yeah, it's Matt, I do believe in it. Matt, yeah, he's a great channel. I've been watching him for donkey's years. I just wish I had his money, to be honest, because I don't know how he manages to afford all this stuff. Obviously through views and what have you, but I don't know. I just wish I had his money, because I would love to do a channel like Techmone. Love to do a channel like Techmone, because technology just absolutely fascinates me. I love it, but I just haven't got the money. I'm sorry. I haven't got the money. The 360 was more affordable though, benefiting from better ports, and its exclusivity was better too. Literally, the 360 is the only Xbox console I rate highly at all, to be honest. I'll let you a little secret, Mr. Regala. I've never had any form of Xbox ever. Do you know what? I've never even seen, apart from on YouTube, for real, an Xbox startup screen. Never ever seen one, because I've never ever had one. I've seen them on YouTube, obviously, but I've never actually seen one in real life. Yes, because I'm a PlayStation fanboy. Everything's going to become a niche format. Sign of the times, unfortunately. Yes, it is. It is. I'm very sad about physical media becoming a niche format, I have to say. I mean, it only seems like, what, 8 or 9 years ago that, you know, I was increasing my Blu-ray collection to form a nice, you know, collection of movies and stuff like that. That's only since about 8 years ago when I started doing that, and now it's disappearing, and I'm like, bastards. I mean, I still haven't really got that many Blu-rays, to be honest. I've got so many films on DVD, and there's just no way I'm just gonna throw them out and just get them on Blu-ray. I don't see the point. If I've got a film on DVD, I just keep it and I just watch it on DVD. I just can't be bothered to keep spending all that money on Blu-rays. The only exception to that is if I've got like films with sequels, and some of the sequels I've got on Blu-ray, and some then I'll swap them up into, so I've got the whole series in Blu-ray. But there's just no. I mean, I've still got Indiana Jones, the first 3 movies on DVD. I've never seen them on Blu-ray. And I just can't see the point. I just, you know, they look okay. So I'll just watch them on DVD. And I say, if any new films come out, and I always wait until they've been out for ages, so they're usually about £6 on Amazon. I do get the new ones on Blu-ray, obviously. But yeah, ones I've already got, I just watch them off of DVDs. I'm not a fan of watching movies off of streaming, to be honest. Not a fan, because I've got a surround sound, and I've never been able to get the surround sound to work off of streaming services properly. I have got it to work, but not properly, and sometimes you end up with no sound at all. It's just a pain in the backside, so I can't be bothered with it. If I want to watch a movie, I prefer to watch it off a disc, either a DVD or a Blu-ray. I just can't be bothered. If it's like a latest movie that's come out and I'm not really that impressed about, I mean, like the latest Marvel movie, I don't know if anyone's seen that. It was on Disney, Captain America or whatever it is, I can't remember. Load of old crap anyway. Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. What the hell was all that about? I don't know. But it was total crap. But in that situation, I'll just watch it off of Disney, because I just watch it with my headphones on, so I don't even have it on through the surround. So stuff like that, I will watch off of streaming. But if it's a movie that I really, really want to watch, I'd never watch it off streaming. I mean, Star Trek movies, forget it. I never watch them off streaming. Never. No. Put the disc in, play it off of the disc, and that's it. We don't talk about F198, says Plot. No, we don't. We don't talk about that game. It's not as bad as everyone says it is. It's not. And I've actually, I wouldn't say I love it, but I actually kind of like it now. Mostly because it's so bad, but I do kind of like it. Can you show everyone the track I drew for Indonesia? Yes, I will. As soon as I get through the comments. Lando Norris is never winning a world championship, says Lionel Blessy. Yes. I've got the slim version of the PS3. I got it for Christmas off my dad in 2009 when I was 11 years old. Yes. It's a great console. Great console. Maybe. I've also got a PS2 Slim Day, which was about 5 years after I got the original PS2 in 2002 when I was 4 years old. Wowzers. Wowzers. Out of the top 3 myself. Oh no, he's dropped out of the top 3. Nice. Wait, now I'm back in. What the hell? It's just better to go rally. Yes, it is. I don't know. Racing games will always be popular as they're old as time itself. True. Palu finishes with over 700 points. Max has also come out against Dominicali's idea. Yes, he has. It is weird that the 2015 game included the 2014. Is it weird that the 2015 game includes the 2014 season? No, they did that because 2014 was so bad as like the PS3 version that they put it on there to say, oh look, you can play it on this one now. It's okay. We're sorry about 2014 being so bad. They're going to be handing points out for the most TikToks made. So yes, I can see that happening. No, it fucking isn't. Don't give them ideas. Piss off, Ocon. Yes. I'd rather watch the BTCC. At least they got rid of the hybrid system. Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of the hybrid system. I started watching that. Was it last year when they still had the hybrid system? I think it was. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I went, nah. And I stopped watching it. And now they got rid of it. I'm glad they have. WEC for me, says he. Apparently this is all a bid to milk extra cash from influencers and TikTokers. Yes. Hello, Mr. Polish Eddie. Welcome to the stream. He says, hello. Hey-oh. Yes, welcome. Pretty much. WEC and IndyCar. This is why darts is the best sport in the world. Yes. Polish Eddie says, howdy, lesbians. Yes, we're all lesbians here. Yes, we're all lesbians. Final place 2001, let Michael pass for the championship. 2002, let Michael pass for the championship again. Yes, that's pretty much how it worked. Final place, get Crofty back in his lane then. James Allen said, Michael Schumacher wins the Austrian Grand Prix. He doesn't deserve to win it. No concessions, none whatsoever. 2003 had 3 drivers battling for the title. Polish Eddie says, 2002 was the let Michael pass for the championship, right? Yeah, it was. It was the second year in a row and all hell broke loose. Team orders were banned until Fernando is faster than you. Yes, indeed. 2004. Schumacher 2004, Schumacher dominated with 13 out of 18 wins. I could go on. Sadly, there aren't many PS3 games still online. This is true. This is true. This is true. Sadly, I recorded a video last month on F1 Race Stars, and that sadly is no longer online. And it pretty much made up 50% of the game. So 50% of the game's gone. So all you got really is the championship. That's it, or the career mode. So I was a little bit disappointed. But there you go. Time marches on. I do understand that they can't support these games forever because all these games are still being run by servers and they just can't keep these servers going forever. I mean, most of the PS3 games were like peer-to-peer, so they didn't rely on servers, but most of them actually did, because even though they were peer-to-peer, they still needed servers to actually run all the setups for them. So yeah, there was always a server in there somewhere, and they're still going. Some of these games, some of these old PS3 games are still running. Not very many, as Final says, but there's still a few of them still running. And so eventually Sony's just going to have to say, "No, that's it, we're done. We're done." I mean, I just can't imagine whose job is it to maintain these servers. Is it some old guy like about 72 years old sitting there with a fag in his mouth? Just, oh God, that bit's broken. Hang on, I'll call maintenance. Maintenance! Yeah, the PS3 server's broken again. What do you mean you'll be round in 3 weeks, you bastards? You don't care about us anymore, do you? Hey, with your PS5s and your virtual reality. You don't care about us poor PS3s over here. We're still playing Call of Duty, you know. Call of Duty, yeah. Modern Warfare, yeah. "2000, Schumacher and Hakkinen destroying each other the whole race in Japan. Yes. Yeah, that's why we need a longer edition. Consider me in. How am I leading? I've spent more time running around preparing for my parents' and grandparents' holiday than watching the stream. I don't know. I don't know. But thanks for the tenner. That's very generous of you. No, not really. Money cannot influence your standing on the top fans. Well, it can apparently. If you send in a super chat, you can get higher up the thing. But I don't even know if that exists and is actually a thing either, to be honest. You're the GOAT, that's why. It works in mysterious ways, Paddock. Mysterious ways. He's an Amazon affiliate, yes. Nintendo Wii was one massive success. People will probably play that until like 91 or something. Yes. Nintendo Wii was a massive success. Now, the worst thing about the Nintendo Wii was I didn't have a PlayStation 3 because it was too bloody expensive. No way could I afford 425 quid. And it was still expensive. I didn't get a PlayStation 3 until 2011. 2011. When did it come out? 2007, wasn't it? Yeah. It was a huge gap for me. I remember that because I literally did 5 seasons on F106 on the PlayStation 2. I did 5 seasons of that game because I had no other Formula 1 content to play because I didn't have a PlayStation 3. So I waited ages. And in the meantime, my nieces, who were about, I don't know, 12, something like that at the time, they went out and brought a Wii, and yes, you can guess it, Formula 1 2009. That's right. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but they went out and bought that stupid steering wheel thing that you put the Wii controller into. Yeah. So I used to go around their house every Tuesday night because they used to live basically about 2-minute walk away from me. I don't now, they're about 50 miles away, but they used to be a 2-minute walk away. So I used to go around their house for dinner every Tuesday night. And they'd sit there on purpose, just purely to wind me up, sitting there playing 2009 with the stupid steering wheel going, look, Uncle, this game's brilliant. We love this. While I was sitting there on the sofa with a face like this. Did they let me play? Oh, no. No. Oh, no. That was not part of the torture, was it? No. I couldn't have a go. I just had to sit on the sofa like this. While they were playing the game. Not me. No, because I haven't got a PS3, have I? No. Bitches. I haven't even got a Blu-ray player as a CD and trophy. Oh my goodness. I've got so many, it's unbelievable. Not through wealth, but all the consoles I got, obviously, have got Blu-ray players on. PS3's got Blu-ray player, PS4's got Blu-ray player, PS5's got Blu-ray player. I think if you include all the consoles, I mean, I've only got one standalone Blu-ray player. It's only a little tiny thing that I bought ages ago because I basically didn't want to wear the consoles out playing Blu-ray movies. So I got one of those. But apart from that, I think I've got on the consoles about 8 Blu-ray players, if you include all the consoles. About 8 Blu-ray players. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yes. Everyone played the Wii, even my dad, and that was only for Wii Sports. Wii Sports, Lionel Plessy, yes. They did let me play Wii Sports on this Tuesday night. They let me play Wii Sports. I was very, very good at the archery. Yes. Yes, back in the day. Probably wouldn't be now, but I was very good at the archery. Yes. Yes, very good. They didn't like that because I kept beating them on the archery. Gotta get your own back somehow. Gotta get your own back somehow. The GameCube was like those floppy disks with its 50 discs for any reasonable sized AAA game. Yes. Ah, the GameCube. I never had a GameCube. I never even had one in my hands. No. You are going to be talking about F198 next month. Yeah, whatever. I got to start editing that soon. We're already in September. Got to start editing it soon. Takes like 25 hours to edit, so I better start soon. F1 Race Stars, aka Mario Kart F1. Yeah, it was, basically. Like, they released Formula 1, which is based on the 1995 season on the PS1. They released F1 Championship 2000 by EA on the PS2. Yes, they did. F1 Championship season on the PS2, where the engine sounded like Tom of Tom and Jerry screaming. Yes, it was bad. They released F1 Championship Edition, which is based on the 2006 season on the PS3, and they included the 2014 season on 2015 for the PS4. F1 2009 on the Wii. It was painfully average. Yes, it was painfully average. Yes. But the fact is, the little bitches wouldn't let me play it, even if it was painfully average or not. No. I used to sit there deliberately with these bloody wheel controllers going, oh, this is really great. This is really great. Can I have a go? No. 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 So I used to sit there like this. And that was my Tuesday night. Yes. Yes, it was painfully average. It was painfully average on that PSP version that I played on the All Seasons. Oh my God, what a disaster that was. But we got through it. They did the same for the handheld PlayStation consoles. They released F1 Grand Prix, which is based on the 2005 season for the PSP, and they released F1 2011 on the PS Vita. Get Emma Bunton on this All Seasons rubbish. Yes, she might be coming up soon. But there might be someone else on it this Sunday. Yeah. Joke's on them. The game was utter cat. Yeah, the joke was on them, really. Yes. Because obviously, Formula One, they don't play Formula One games. Okay? They don't play Formula One games. They don't play Formula One games now. They didn't play Formula One games then. The only reason they were playing this Formula One game was to purely wind me up. That was the only reason. That I have to say, I have recently got them into Formula One. Yes, I'm very, very proud of that fact. I've got them into Formula One. Yes, and they've only started last season, 2024 onwards, but they're now really into Formula One, and I'm very, very proud of that. But back then, they had no interest in Formula One. The only interest they had was in torturing me, who they knew was really into Formula One, by not letting me play their chuffing Formula One F1 2009 Wii shit. Yeah, that's what it was. Torture. Every bloody Tuesday night. Yeah, this is really good, Uncle. We love this game. Can I play it? No. 2009 was a disappointment in that imagine having to wait 2 to 3 years for another F1 game only to find out that it's on Wii and PSP. Yes. I can understand why Codemasters did that though, because they wanted to work on 2010, and I'm glad that they did, because 2010 was a great game. I think if they'd have rushed out 2009, it would have been pretty average, to say the least. So it was good that they farmed out the development to someone else. It was Sumo Studios? Sumo Studios, I think it was, who had done a lot of Wii games anyway, and a lot of PSP games. So it was natural for them to do the F1 game. But obviously you haven't got that heritage there. You haven't got that Studio Liverpool background of Formula One. That they've basically given a blank sheet of paper and said, right, go and make this game. They haven't got any history of making Formula One games. So, that's why it was never going to be any good. But I can understand the reasoning why they farmed it out to someone else to do it, so they could solely concentrate on F1 2010. Otherwise, I think we would have got a pretty substandard F1 game in 2009 if it had come out on the big consoles. Did you ask Anita? Yeah, I was asking them constantly, and all they said was, nah. 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 No. Can I? No. Can I? No. And that was it. Every Tuesday night. Nah. 2009 merely existed to meet their license obligations. Yes, exactly. MotoGP also had a Wii game, but it was a PS2 port of 08 and it was awful. F1 2009 on PSP. Didn't you say that if you didn't win the title, you'd have to send Rachel Riley? Yes, I did. That was on the All Seasons. And I'm very, very glad that I didn't actually do it, because she actually sued someone on Twitter for sending her an offensive tweet, apparently. And I was like, oh my fucking good God. So I'm very, very glad I didn't even do it. Yes. I can't remember the circumstances of that. Probably on Google somewhere. But yeah, she sued someone for sending an offensive tweet. And I was like, oh, it wasn't me, because I didn't do it. It wasn't me. MotoGP games were generally awful once Namco lost the license. F1 Championship Edition still better than F1 20. Yeah, I agree. I bet both of them are Lulu fans. I don't know, actually. I haven't asked them. I think, to be honest, I think it's Lando. Oh God, it's Lando. I think. I mean, they're all grown up now. They're blinking school teachers, and they're in their late 20s now. I think it's Lando. Because, you know, everyone loves Lando, don't they? I think it's Lando. I'm not quite sure. It might be Lulu. I don't know. Might be Lulu. I've never actually asked them. MotoGP was the best one they did. I do remember the PS3 version at 2005 and 2006, but only 8 tracks. Playing that game was torture. Yes, it was. I also played MotoGP 2 and 3 on the PC, the THQ games, and they were good. Not only that, they released F1 Championship for the PS2, and the game was based on the 1999 season. MotoGP 9 and 10 is the worst MotoGP I've played, given that it had some annoying Scottish voiceover. 10 and 11 was better. It had Steve Parrish, who was BBC's motorsport coverage at the time. Sumo Digital, thank you very much. I thought it was. Sumo Digital. Yes, they've done a lot of handheld games for the PSP anyway, so it's rather natural that they'd get to do the PSP F1 game, and of course the Wii version of F1 2009 as well. Championship Season 2000 was the only decent F1 game EA released on the PS2. Yes, that was the first one. Yes, that was the only decent one on the PS2, was the first one. After that, God knows what happened. F1 Championship Season 2000 was better on the PS1 than the PS2. That is also true. It was, yes. But also, that was the best one of the EA games on the PS2. So you're both right. Had to switch off the laptop. Oh no, not the overheating laptop. F1 Race Stars is also on the Wii U. Is it, Shane? I didn't know that. Wowzers. I haven't got a Wii U. I haven't even got a Wii. No. Because the bad memory of my Tuesday night sitting there with a sour face has meant I could never have a Wii now. No. It's ingrained in my memory now. I still haven't watched any All Seasons in ages. Still on the F1 2012 on the HRT. Well, don't worry, Mr. Planner Percy. They're not going anywhere. No, they're not going anywhere. I've been stuck watching Tenable with Warwick Davis. Oh, God. So I'm waiting for Other Half's desktop to get up and running. Oh, no. Oh, no. The overheating laptop. Now, the problem with laptops is, if it's a problem of cleaning, is taking them apart. Laptops are really, really difficult. Unless it's made in the last 5 years. they make them a little bit easier now because you can just take the whole of the back panel off. But most of the time, they're very, very complicated. And actually getting to the fan is pretty impossible. It's doable, but it's not for the average person. It really isn't. You need to have a little bit of technical know-how to know how to take a laptop apart. Very, very complicated. Desktops are so much easier to actually take apart. So yeah, laptops a little. I mean, laptops have their uses. They're portable. You can move them around because they're battery powered and they're great and lovely. And you know, some laptops are just as powerful as desktops these days. But the problem is, if they start overheating, you've got to clean them. It's actually taking them apart to clean them because they are a bleeding nightmare. I was at a game. Oh, it was a game show that he used to do before he cancelled it in favour of lingo rubbish. You had authority over the nieces who, why not just threaten to take the Wii off them and not sharing, teach them a lesson? I said, seriously, did you say that out loud? You had authority over the niece? I didn't have a... No. It's me you're talking about. Do you think I had authority over my... No way. Jose. Not happening. Ever. Now the desktop is up and running. Yay, it's desktops. Just take all the vapes lying around. F1 Career Challenge was better than F1 Championship Season 2000. Yes. Dave lives in Chatham. Vapes are the least of their woes. Show my Indonesia circuit. I'm getting there. Still a shame there were no F1 07 or F1 00 game. A same loss like, yeah, it was a shame. 2 years with no F1 games. F1 Race Stars is based on the 2012 season. Yes, it is. I'm asthmatic, so they leave me feeling like someone has slit my throat. I like that. Kimi Antonelli is washed. Yes. Right, what was it? Indonesian. Got to go full screen for a minute. Oh, here we go. Right, everyone. This is Paddock Lesbians Indonesian circuit. Give us your thoughts out of 10. Here you go. Show them the Argentinian manager adapted for F1 too. There it is. There it is on your screen right now, everyone. Give us your votes out of 10. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee dee dee. That's my Argentine one you get. Well, I don't know, do I? Look, it doesn't say anything on the screen which one it is, does it? You got to point me in the right direction. I'm very, 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 very old. Very old, yes. You got to put me on a lead and lead me in the right direction. Yes. It's a hand-drawn one. Well, that's very helpful, isn't it? The hand-drawn one. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Got it. I got it. Right, here we go. There you go. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. F1 career changed my favourite EA F1 game. Bit of an error there. The Indonesian one is the hand-drawn one. Very, very thick too. Thanks for that. Yes. What do you think, Dad? I think it's pretty decent. I have to say, pretty decent. Yes, I like the There's my mouse. I like this curvy section bit here. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Which way round is are they going? Are they going clockwise or anti-clockwise? I've lost the chat. Where's it? Oh, bloody hell! Not that one. I've lost the chat. Where's the chat gone? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Dee. Right, here we go. We're back again. I basically copied China and Sepang. Oh, it's anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. So it's going back. It's going back round this way then, is it? Right, okay, I gotcha. That's anti-clockwise, isn't it? Yeah, going that way. Ah, shut up. Right. So I'm presuming is this the start-finish line? Or is this the start-finish line? Or maybe this is the start-finish line. I don't know. Also, next week, the Spice Girls on top of the pots, but for the first time without Jerry, she's gone, oh no. Oh no. Disaster. Well, I'm going to say this is the start-finish line. So you come out into turn one. Very, very sharp left-hander. I like these sweeping turns. And then you got a sort of very sharp left. Come down the hill, obviously, through this next section. And then you go into this very sweeping S section. I like that. Reminds me a little bit of Texas. The S section at Texas. Texas. Yes, I like that. And then you come round to this very, very sharp right-hander and come round. I presume that's the end of the lap, is it? Just before the curvy bit is the start-finish line. Oh, what there? Oh, I got you. Right. Yes, China with the turn one right-hand turn. I've got you. Right, so here's the start line. Here's the start line here. Makes sense, really. It's in the middle of the circuit. Well done, Dave. Well done. So, yeah. So, yes, that is definitely China with the very, very tight sweeping right-hander. And you come round here into a sweeping left in through here. Oh, yes, I do like this selection here. And then you come down. This section here reminds me of a little bit of Las Vegas, where you sort of sweep down into a very fast section. But then this section here reminds me of the USA, the COTA. You know, the S section at COTA? It reminds me of that with a little squiggle there. And you come in and you finish the lap. YouTube has decided not to print what I thought of the track. Oh, I'm sure you can get on. I'm sure you can get on here if you just edit it so it's YouTube friendly. Yes, I'm sure you can make a comment if it's YouTube friendly. But yeah, pretty decent. What's a new circuit? You wouldn't spend a lap complaining on the F1 game. That's true. What's the PlayStation logo at the bottom? What's that all about? Or did you rest your notepad on top of your PS5? I don't know. Censor it, Helium? Yeah, censor it, Helium. I'm sure you'll get it through. Just remember, hashtags are our friend. Put a hashtag in it and you'll get away with it. It'll be next to the coastline. Oh, it's a PlayStation Note. Oh, that's posh. That's posh. Got your own PlayStation notepad, have you? Oh, how very posh indeed. How very posh. I haven't got a PlayStation notepad, you know. No. Look what I've got. I've just got a piece of paper. That's all I've got. A piece of boring old A4 paper folded into two. Yes, that's my notepad. How very posh. How very posh. PlayStation notepad. Nice. Not really. Got it from the quid shop. Looks like 1 inch cock with its testicles. Nice. 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 Yes. See, you got it past the sensors. You got it past. So a regular talker track then helium. Yes, possibly. A regular talker track. Herman Talker. There you go. Can't be bad. Nice indeed. Anyway, oh my goodness. This one definitely won't be annoying. No, yes, that joke never gets old. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe I was going to say this, but we've gone past the 2 hours. It's time for me to go. Also, on Top of the Pops tomorrow night, Legs & Co. are on in 1981. They were the show's dancers that... Yes, I remember Legs & Co. What do you think of the Argentinian one then, David, that you showed before this? Yeah, I like that as well. Let me just... because I didn't... I didn't focus on it too much. So let's get back to it. There we go. Argentine one. Well, yeah, that's a definite improvement. I have to say, definite improvement on the Argentine. I do like the. I like the way you've extended out, because that's obviously the track there, isn't it? I like the way you've extended that out, so it's a more longer sweeping, and you've completely got rid of this turn here and made it into a sort of sweeping chicane. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive, and you sort of straightened out that one there and that one there as well. Yeah, I'll give you 8 out of 10 for effort on that one. I'd also love to have the Atari 2600 and play those two Formula games, which are called Grand Prix and Pole Position. Wow. Atari 2600, Shane. That's going back. It's a MotoGP one adapted for F1. Very good. Very good indeed. Yeah, you'd love a Atari 2600, Shane. Oh my God. Classic. Absolute classic. Really is. Anyway, everyone, I've got to go again because we've gone past 2 hours. I can't believe it. 2 hours and 7 minutes now. Since they are banning this one for Buenos Aires. I see. Yes, 2 hours and 7 minutes. The time once again has absolutely flown past. So I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for joining me tonight. Don't forget, of course, we've got the Italian Grand Prix. Is it going to be a victory for Lulu Hamilton? Is he going to bring the trophy home for the mad Tifosi crowd? Or is he going to crash into the wall again like he did in the last round? We will see. We will see. Anyway, before I go, it's time for that part of the show that we all love. Yes. How the hell am I on 225 XP? Not a chance. Yes. Let me put that there for a minute. Oh, there's not enough in the chat for me to scroll up the thingy. Hang on, how am I going to work this out? How am I going to work this out, everyone? How am I going to work this out? Hang on. There you go. That's how I'm going to work this out. Right. Oh, balls. That didn't work. That did not work. Why didn't that work? Are you working? No, because as soon as I click on that, it's... Oh, balls. Hang on. How can I do this? How can I do this? Oh, can I go out that way? No, it won't let me go that way. Oh, you bugger. You bugger. Dee 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 dee. You bugger. I can't do it. I can't do it. Why can't it just go in reverse order? I just noticed something. Here it tells you how to get XP. Look at this. What's the leaderboard? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. It resets every stream so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages. Send super chats and super stickers. There you go. That's how you get the messages. Oh, bugger. Oh. Yeah, now I've been trying to. If there was 11 of you in the chat, or had been 11 of you in the chat, it would let me scroll up and down, so I could scroll it down to the bottom and give you the bottom order up to the top. But because there's only 9 of you, I can't scroll it down, and it won't let me get rid of it and do it that way. It's rather stupid. It's rather stupid. I can't find any way of covering it up either. I'm just going to have to run it. I'm just going to have to run it like this. Right, here we go. Here we go. I'm just going to run it because it won't let me scroll down. So here we go. In at number 9, it's Daniel 7052. Dropping down 4 places, oh dear, it's Matthew D'Souza 23. Number 7, what has happened to Wheel F1? Number 6, it's a late charge coming straight into number 6 for Polish Eddie F1. Number 5, it's Mr. Regala. Coming in at number 4, it's Lionel Messi, which means it's time for our top 3. Number 3 is Shane Coburn 2023. Which means at number 2 it's Helium Trophy. Which means once again in at number 1, and thank God for those £25 donations, that's all I can say, it's the Paddock Lesbians once again. Da-da-da-da. There you go, everyone. Yeah, all right, we don't want it again. We don't want it again, thank you. We don't want it again. Go away. Go away. Those are tonight's top fans once again. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome as always. I want a proper Wi-Fi connection now. Just click on the overlay. Did I hear a PlayStation shot? You did. I'm still on 175. You're on 225. 225. Duel for the lead. I'm clearly second place. No use in denying that. Hopefully we'd end up like Lando and Max in Austria. Won't, shouldn't. Lesbians, Matt. Lesbians. Down the inside comes Eden. Oh no, they've both flipped and caught fire. Again. They've blocked the circuit. No one can get through. Clearly they had too many lessons from the Hookster, the plums. Yes, they did. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight once again on Love Hookster Talks. Thanks to the Paddock Lesbians. Thanks to Helium Trophy as well. Who else have we got? Plynal Plessy, thank you, sir. Shane, thank you very much for joining me tonight on the stream. Who else have we got? Let's just scroll up. I'm going to miss people because it's not going to let me scroll up any further. Thank you to Mr. Rugara. Thank you for joining me on the stream. Plynal Plessy, I think I've just said him. But Polish Eddie was in as well. Thank you, Polish Eddie. And I think we had, who did we have right at the start of the stream? I can't remember. Matthew D'Souza. Matthew D'Souza was in there as well. Thank you, Matt, for joining me tonight on the stream. And of course, thank you to Mr. Regal for the £1 super chat donation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, you still didn't win. You still didn't win. But there you go. Thanks for the donation. Much appreciated. And I think that's everybody. Will F1, yeah. Oh, Daniel S. Daniel S. was in there right at the start of the stream. Thank you very much to Daniel. Well, there you go. Lesbians on top again and burnt to a crisp. Yes, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. We will end it there. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Don't forget, of course, to join me tomorrow because you voted for it. You said yes for F1 the movie. Yes, F1 the movie, which I shall be playing through from about 9:30, 9:45 tomorrow. I won't get through all of it. There's 8 chapters, so I'll see if I can get through half and half. But there you go. Join me tomorrow for F1 the movie. Yes, I haven't actually seen F1 the movie, so there you go. I'll be going fresh. They're getting nice and warm as they've been complaining about the cold. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. And for once, not from scissoring. Anyway, thank you everyone. Awesome as always. And I'll see you tomorrow for some Formula One the movie. Don't forget, about 9:30-ish, 9:45. A little bit later because I have to upload the All Seasons tomorrow evening. So yeah, a little bit later, but we will see how many chapters we can get through. See if we can get it through. I must buy that tonight as well because I keep forgetting. And we'll see how many chapters we can get through. And I'll most likely extend it for another week. Maybe even 2 more weeks. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, thank you everyone. Awesome as always. And I'll catch you tomorrow for more F1 the movie. Yes. Thank you for me. Almost forgot. TB the Bear. I don't know if I can lift him with my bad arm. TB the bear, yes, everyone's favourite bear. Thank you, TB. Yes, you excited for Sunday? Yes, Lulu's going to do it, isn't he? Yes, Lulu is definitely going to do it. Yeah, he's going to crash into the wall again. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you, everyone, and good night.